Hello, everyone. Caren Glasser here, and welcome to Uncorked, Savoring Midlife. I'm joined by my co-host, Mel Greenberg, and we are going to be talking about the ever-changing roles of mothers. So, Mel, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm so excited this year to be doing this Motherhood Mother's Day. I'm Mel Greenberg. I am a best-selling author. I'm a producer. I'm a mom, and I'm about to be a grandma. I'm also a co-founder of She Is It, which is a private Facebook group, and our community is 50 and over, and we have incredibly engaging conversations, and it's a private group, so no holds barred there. We have a weekly show called Life Unscripted, some tremendous guests that you'll get to meet, kind of helping us navigate these waters of 50 and over.
Absolutely. We'll put a link in, if you're tuning in right now and you'd like to find out a little bit more about She Is It, put it in the comments, let us know, and we will send you a link so you can go check it out. Okay?
Yep.
Sounds good. I'm Caren, as you guys know that. I'm Caren Glasser. I am a super boomer. I was not satisfied just to be a boomer. I have to be a super boomer. I'm overachiever. And I do shows. I'm a live streamer. I love to do these shows. And I'm so thrilled, Mel, that we're doing this show together. This is going to be so much fun.
So much fun.
So it's a little bit of housekeeping. I see we have some people coming on. Whether you're here live or on replay, doesn't matter. We love you and we want to know who you are. So make a comment, say hi, tell us where you are watching from. And we're going to do some engaging stuff later on in this show. We'll put your comments right up on the screen if you're so inclined to do that. So before we start, we're going to raise our glass. I got to remember which way we're going. This way. It's backwards. Clink. We're clinking.
Oh, we love this world of virtuality.
So I'm having a Momosa. Mine is actually orange juice and ginger ale. Really, really tasty. Yummy, yummy, yummy. It's from the Mindful Mocktail. Thank you, Nat.
Mine is also a mocktail, and it is tropical juice with a little iced tea and lemonade.
Yum, yum, yum. Sounds delicious. So, and we're doing the mocktails today, and we're not in any way, shape, or form telling you need to go out and not drink alcohol. That wasn't our intention. Our intention is that we wanted to have a little bit of fun and have a mimosa. So that's what we did. So you know what? We're gonna talk about motherhood today because it really has changed from when we were growing up with our moms to, the middle age, and we're going to talk to empty nesters. And as we move on, motherhood has changed, especially through COVID.
Oh my God.
So talk to me about that. I'm going to hold your book up right now because it actually is all about how things have changed, right? What's your book about now?
It is the first book in the Empty Nested series, and it is Samantha's the main character, and she's now an empty nester, and she's not so sure she wants to stay married. She loves being a mother, but she doesn't know what's next. And I think most of us find ourselves in a position at one level or another as our children leave the nest. But COVID certainly presented a whole new bag. And one of my sons moved home from LA, moved back here. Didn't think it was home, came home. They stayed for 7 weeks and then decided this was the place to be with his now wife and soon to be baby. So this is a really special year for me as both a mother and about to be first time grandmother. But I joke with them both, my kids, that they're kind of killing my brand because it was built on empty nesting, and I'm no longer an empty nester, but I'm loving every minute of it. But it has changed so much, and I'm fortunate that I have my children here because I know, and I want to hear from you, Caren, you're in a very different situation.
Yeah, very different, very different. I'm jealous. I have to tell you, I'm really jealous because your kids are with you, and to be able to see them and to go through this thing that we all went through. My kids, I have not seen. My folks, I have not seen. My mother, I have not seen because of all of the things that are going on. My youngest just moved to the desert. So that's kind of cool. And I'm going to actually see him because I'm now vaccinated. They're now vaccinated. So we can start moving out. But it's been a huge challenge when my son, and when I went through empty nest, I have two two sons. I was going to say kids. They're not kids, 35
kids
and 48,
anymore.
right? They were totally empty nest. And I know when we first met, I was telling you the fact that empty nest to me was not a bad thing. I was so excited that they were moving out. And because it meant that we had, for me personally, that we had given them the tools and the things that they needed in order to move out and do their own thing. Of course, I missed them later on, but not enough to have them move back in.
Well, and I think that's the biggest conflict that we go through, because we want our children, most of us want our children to fly. We have done that. We have done our job. They are off living their lives, pursuing their dreams. But our lives change too. And especially for those of us who stayed at home and where our job was at home with them, all of a sudden you're left with this canyon. What do I do now?
Right. So you wrote a book.
I went back. I was a writer, not a novelist. I was always in radio and television. It's a bit different to write a novel, but I went. I've always, writing is my passion, and it's been tremendous. But the greatest gift in all of that was the women, especially, and certainly a lot of men too. And actually, they added a tremendous layer to my writing process of in this time in our lives and what we're going through. And it really is, you kind of up the hill and then you're down the other side. But it doesn't have to be, it's not downward. It's an upward constant trajectory, but it is a very defined shift in everything. And that's been the fun. I've met people like you getting to do these things. And it's given a new lease on my own life. But I think what you were saying about, you don't want your kids home. I remember, when both of my kids went away, and I thought, gosh, if I love seeing them. I don't want them to come home. I don't know what the heck I'm doing.
I get
it's not about them coming back here.
I get that. And in fact, I actually told my kids that you're always welcome, but you need to let us know that you're coming home.
Yeah.
You can't just walk in.
Because that could be awkward.
Because I'm sure you understand, right? It's like all of a sudden the kids are out of the house. We can walk around naked if we want. Not that I did. Well, maybe once or twice. But you don't want you definitely don't want your kids walking in on that. And the big joke with my youngest was we moved the day after he graduated high school, and he went to college and he moved into a dorm, and we literally moved. Like there was nowhere for him to come back to.
So we were thinking about coming home, different address. Keep
different address. Totally. We moved and we did give them the forwarding address, but we moved, and that was that was different for us. We moved from the suburbs. We lived in a home in the suburbs of California, a big home, and we moved to a condo on Wilshire Boulevard in the city, like very cosmopolitan on a top. I loved it. Yeah, I couldn't have kids there. I wouldn't have grown my kids there, but definitely. So that was a huge, huge change, and a good change, actually. It allowed me to grow up as a mom and to let go a little bit, because I was, maybe I still am, a controlling mom. If my son's listening, you can tell me whatever you want. But, it allowed me to grow a little bit and not being so over both of my kids. And I think that they would probably say the same thing. Did your relationship change when they moved out?
It did. When our children were growing up, we were very much their parents. We were not their friends. And we made that distinction very clear in how we raised them and how we communicated them. And the joy of it was interesting. Our house was the go-to house. Everyone wanted all their friends still come to our house. They're still connected. But there was a point, and my youngest son, after he was done with his undergraduate work, we were talking about it, and he said, I don't remember exactly when, but we went from being like mom and son to like we're all friends now. Yeah.
Kathy Stover says, woohoo! Celebrating mom. Thanks, Kathy, for tuning in. I get what you're saying. Totally. The relationship changes
dramatically.
Right. And it's one of the reasons that we called this show, it's Mom's Mentors. We actually put that in there because I think relationships definitely change. If they don't, they should. They absolutely should. And I know that it changed on my side as well, which was was okay. It was all good. We now, I wouldn't say we're totally friends, but I'm definitely his mentor. You know?
And I love that. And we are that. I love that position. I speak with my kids on a variety of topics, and ones they're not comfortable talking with me, they talk with their dad about. So we're all connected, but we all, it's been, and that's another interesting shift with COVID, because we were having dinners at home all the time and everyone over, and just the conversation, and though the topics changed, the closeness and the value in us mentoring them has been incredibly gratifying.
Would you say it's more like an adult relationship rather than a young kids? You know, it's different. Mom and dad and kids versus
Absolutely.
It's adult.
Yeah, and they'll always be my babies.
Yeah,
but
they're
grown children. I mean, my oldest son is married, and he's about to be a father. And you know, you approach those conversations and that relationship quite differently. But so it's not that one's better than the other. And I like that change, and I like embracing the possibilities of that change very much.
I love that. I love that. I totally lost my train of thought. Literally.
That is after 50, after 60.
Yeah, that's what happens. We get, you get to a certain age, woof, all out the door. I love being a mom, but I also love being in an adult relationship. My son is also getting married in July, and they just moved to the desert. So I'm excited because now we're going to be able to see them, and they're going to get married in my backyard. Just
the most exciting part to share
is I'm going to marry.
Yes.
I'm going to marry them. I was really honored. It's interesting. I didn't expect them to ask me to do that. And it's interesting that they did. It was really important for me to do this for them. So I'm thrilled, but it's going to be small. And when I say small, it's the two of them, my husband and myself, and her dad and his wife, just the six of us. And we're going to Zoom the wedding. Now, this is a different time, right? This is a totally different time. Yeah. Who would have even thought about Zooming a wedding? I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, Zoom life. I have masks to match my wardrobe. They're part of my wardrobe now. That's not something I ever considered.
That's funny. And I have it too. It's funny, but it's not. I have it too.
Yeah.
Since this is a show about moms, let's talk about our moms. You lost your mom at a very, very early age.
17.
And tell me, I mean, it shaped your life, I'm sure.
It did. Of course it did. She was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 13, which is a pivotal time as well. So I dealt with those changes. And honestly, I since I'm a writer, I'm going to share probably the most helpful book that I came across as an adult and long into my motherhood of my own was called Motherless Daughters. And the author personal interviews tracked the age groups. It doesn't matter what age you are. I don't care if you're 80 and you lose your mother. It hurts.
Right.
It's a void that will never be filled. But it affects your growth and your life differently. And she broke it down into categories. And I fell into the second one. It was like 10 and under, and then 10 to 20. And I don't remember the exact breakdown. But the time that it hit me very hard, because those are very, very strong developmental years when you're kind of starting to come into your own as a teenager and those things.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so that, yeah, it was not fun, but I was very blessed because she was an amazing mom while I had her. Mm-hmm. So I get to carry those things. So regardless of what I went through and the journey that I had to travel, that came back and through me. And, I mean, life in general is sort of a stumble.
Yeah.
Kind of, go along, and there's no manual of exactly how to do it. So
when your mom's not there to help, it's when you don't have a mom to go to. This is my mom says. My mom lost her mom when she was 50. My mom was 50. Her mom was 50. She was 23, and she's always saying to me that you don't know when you have your mom still here, you don't know what it's like to have kids and to raise kids and not have your mom there to be able to go talk to. It's something that she talks about. And do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I do. And it sucks. And well, it did. It did.
Yeah. I'm throwing some pictures up right now of your mom. I'm going to put this on solo for a second. How
Okay.
old is your mom here?
I think I don't know exactly. I'm gonna say maybe five-ish. I'm thinking 3, 5.
Wow. So cute.
That's me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think I was about one, a little over one there.
And you look like your mom, Mel.
I wrote a piece in She Is It and shared it yesterday. And this is one of the pictures I shared. And I got that. And it just honors me so much that people say that. Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And I'm sure these pictures bring up a lot of memories. This is your mom, right?
It is, and she was a pianist, and she actually had studied to be a concert pianist. But in those days, you got married for the most part,
right?
And she let that go, and that's on the piano bench, her piano bench. So I love that particular shot.
And you're a musician too. You're a violinist. I'm a pianist.
I played at my son's wedding.
I know.
Having a tiny little intimate, immediate family-only wedding. And this is it in Sedona, on Valentine's Day.
Love it.
And I and my son's wife's brother, he plays the guitar. We did a duet as she walked down the aisle.
Oh my gosh, this is such a great picture, and this is a great picture too. This is you being a mentor and being a friend, and just having a good time with your sons.
That was actually that was New Year's Eve, 2019.
Love it.
And we were all in Vancouver for 2 weeks celebrating what my 60th birthday was January 8th. So we were up, my good dear friend lives up there, that we were celebrating, and like, who knew what was coming around that corner?
Oh my gosh, no kidding. Okay, so this is so I couldn't help but put this up. I mean, COVID has changed a lot of things, and one of the things that had changed for my family is that we did weekly Zooms. And we were silly. So sometimes the girls would get on. This is my sister in the top left-hand corner. Obviously, that's me with my tongue out. And my mom is a real trooper. She gets involved and does this. All right. So this is my mom, too, in the middle. My mom is 85 years old. I adore her. Everything that I learned from my mom. No kidding. My sister's on the left and my sister-in-law is on the right. This is me in the younger days when I had spiked hair and I was singing with Rhino Records, and my little one, even he was wearing my name on his shirt, which I think is pretty funny.
Oh, God.
I think he went to a show or something. And again, my family, my mom is the person I look up to. I hope that I'm the kind of mom that she is to me, to my children. And here we are again, my mom, my dad. Again, I'm blessed. My mom is 85, my dad is 87. Both of them COVID survivors, and they are just amazing, amazing people. And then one last picture, my mom was a hot chick. In the middle, that is my mom, just hanging out on a picnic blanket. I love that picture. And my mom and dad. So again, I'm blessed. I want to put this screen up. You gave this to me, and I thought this would be really a great conversation. I've asked this question many times. Am I as I am, who I am, what I am, how I am, because my mother lived, or because my mother died? And because of both of our situations, one has lived and one did not live, I'm curious what your take is on that. It's both, you said. I mean, you wrote that.
I didn't write that. I'm not the author.
Did not write that. Okay,
so I actually don't know who the author is. It's beautiful, and it touched me so deeply years ago that I've hung on to it because I got it. I mean, it resonated with me on just about every level imaginable.
I bet. I can only imagine. And it struck a chord with me when you gave it to me. I thought you wrote it. It's beautiful. Whoever wrote it up in the universe, I'm going to go. It's really magnificent. So we both are coming at motherhood from similar directions and yet not so much, right? Mm-hmm. We have our kids that I have not seen, but you have. Your mom passed at a very early age. I'm very blessed. I have a mom that is, thriving and alive. It has shaped my life. It has shaped yours, I'm sure, too.
Absolutely. I think what I loved about that little quote was that I think about, and so many conversations to me, especially this time of year, are about what was it like, or expressing regrets that I had lost my mother or didn't grow up with her. And the flip of that is what touched me so, because of course, when she died is exactly why I am who I am today, because I had no choice. I had to go on living.
Right.
But that she lived is also exactly why I am who I am today. So it's both.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. I put your book up a little bit because we want people to go check it out. If you are an empty nester or you're about to become an empty nester, and again, in this day and time, I don't even know what that means right now.
Well, yeah, the thoughts of the concept, it's fluid.
It's fluid.
I do want to say one thing about this book, though, because this particular, it's the first, and it was there's a storyline that was crucial to her journey. And it really comes from my wanting to explore the aspect of, in our society at this time in life, we kind of gloss over sexuality. And it's very steamy, and it needed to be for what they're going through. But I love that at 50, at 60, we're not dead. We have wants and desires, and they're very real. And I really wanted to explore that. And it was really fun to get to do that in this story. And
it's
especially
a great
Italy.
Book. And I know you were hoping that you could go to Italy this summer. That was one of the plans.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
soon, right?
Well, yeah. We're hoping. I was going to be leading a workshop in Sicily, and it just is not. It's a little too soon. So
a little too soon. Yeah. I want to put a couple of other things up here. It's not too late to shop for mom, guys. You can go over to the superboomerlifestyle.com. Lots of different choices there between flowers and gifts and all sorts of really cool things. But I'm going to encourage you strongly to go click on the link that's just popping up in the comments in a few seconds. This is it's a curated list of presents and gifts that you and I picked that would be great for mom, including mimosa, recipes and glasses and a wine stopper. I mean, great stuff that you picked out. I want to thank you for that, Mel, because
it was so much fun.
It was really fun.
Celebrating moms. I mean, it's
absolutely,
fun.
Absolutely,
we have the best job in the world.
It is.
And now you're giving us presents.
Well, I'll tell you what. You send me, and I'll send you. Okay. All right. We're coming to the end here. Any last minute thoughts about mom, about being a mom, about your daughter-in-law is about to become a mom? I mean, this is like generations. Any thoughts about all this?
It's fabulous. I'm walking on air right now, thinking about what's happening in the next few months, and that I get to experience it firsthand. So I'm very grateful for that, because they're here. And my heart goes out to all of you moms out there who have not yet, but I know with everything changing as quickly as it is, that you're going to be with your kids soon. I see it across the board everywhere. I'm off for a week and I'm finally getting to see my kids. So that's the greatest thing. Yeah.
And I didn't think it was going to feel so good. It feels so good to be able to A, leave my house, and B, know that I'm going to see my youngest and his fiance. They're going to come over here for brunch for Mother's Day, because we're all vaccinated now. And so it's going to be almost like the second time I've seen him since he moved down here. So I'm really thrilled to be able to celebrate Mother's Day with him. And I want to, wish all of you, this is going to sound, all of you mothers out there, it's not your mother. Yeah. All of the mothers, the moms, the mentors, the stepmoms, the
parents. It truly does take a village.
It does take a village. My oldest, I'm his stepmom. He calls me mom, and I adore him. He's mine. He's my kid. And I think motherhood takes all different shapes and sizes, whether it's biological or it's by marriage or by decree, right? Mm-hmm. Or by choice. I want to thank you, Mel, for our very first show. We have another show coming up. So every first Tuesday of the month, we're going to gather together and we're going to have a topic of the month. I'm not sure what we're doing in June. I think we said something about summer's coming or something. I can't remember. Maybe it's Father's Day. I don't remember, but we're doing something.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. If you have any topics that you would like us to cover, put it in the comments. We will make sure to grab them and kind of noodle on it, as I like to say, and see what we can do for that. We want to thank our audience again, whether they're on live or replay, it really doesn't matter. We want to thank you for tuning in because you have a choice as to how you spend your time, right? And you chose to spend it with us.
I'm so glad you spent it with us tonight. And we really do want to raise our glasses again to all of the mothers out there.
This way, that way. Okay. I cannot do this, but I'm going to drink anyways.
Yeah, that I can do.
And that's kind of where the name comes, Uncorked, because it's like it's a party, and hopefully you'll crack open a bottle of wine, non-alcoholic or alcoholic, however you want to do it, to join us on our monthly shows. Mel, have an amazing evening tonight.
Thank you, Caren. You too.
I will. I can't wait. I'm going to go have some dinner with my hubby.
And all of you out there, have a wonderful holiday and celebrate your mom.
Celebrate your mom. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.